soccer being played here. So soccer was one of the biggest sports. So there's many different things about Soweto that we will be explaining as we go along. But as we are here, we introduce you on how Soweto started. We introduce you to the landmarks, which are those mountains on your left hand side. Orlando Stadium, that stadium that you see there is home to one of the biggest teams called Orlando Pirates. So today you guys are with us. So Orlando Pirates is the best team to support. And then you also got those two cooling towers. They have been known to be a symbol of Soweto. And without seeing those two towers, it means you haven't been to Soweto. The guide is doing something wrong, so I'm already doing something right. Okay, so Soweto, how it all began, it goes back all the way to 1886 when gold was discovered inside Johannesburg. So as that year, that is when people started to flock inside Johannesburg trying to accumulate the gold. But not everyone got the gold, so people started to stay inside Johannesburg. 10 years time, now Johannesburg had a lot of population, and within that population slums were created. You all know slums? People are no longer living in a good condition, so there was a disease that broke out known as the bubonic plague, the rat's disease, or you can also call it the great flu. So that disease was blamed on the native people or the black people who were living inside Johannesburg. So they used the bubonic plague as a mode of moving people from there onto the southwest of Johannesburg as a temporary settlement. So they told the people that we'll clean the area, once all is good, we'll call you back. So the people were placed here inside Soweto. If you can stretch your eyes straight, do you see that hill? The hill on the right hand side of the hill, it is the first township of Soweto known as Kliptown. People were placed there in tents and corrugated iron houses or the tin houses or the shacks. But as the years accumulated, they never received the call. So that is when they started to spread out into Soweto. So what you see right now, it is a small portion. It is a small portion. But Soweto became official in the 1930s. In the 1930s through the mayor of Johannesburg. His name was Edwin Orlando Lake. He saw that people were not living in a good condition. Then he donated an area which was also named after him. The stadium, Orlando Stadium, and then the two towers, the houses in between, it is the first formal township of Soweto. It is the first formal township of Soweto known as Orlando East. That is where the first brick houses were laid, but unfortunately the number of houses didn't accommodate everyone who was starting to come into Soweto, so people took matters into their own hands, and then they occupied a land which was just flat.
Estamos andando aqui agora na parte mais pobre de Soweto. Aqui só vivia homem, antigamente 10 mil homens. E tem esgoto a céu aberto e tal. Aqui é uma escola de criança.
The structure of the house is still the same, the roof it is still the same, and also the chimneys. But electricity is now supplied. As you can see, the cables are running into each and every household, but they had to power themselves with the coal-powered stoves. So one house just like this one would be sharing 8 people inside. This is a house consisting of 2 rooms, a bedroom and a kitchen. So here they have to be applying communal toilets and communal taps. So we'll be. Yeah, you can take pictures. Okay, so as I have mentioned that this site is an underdeveloped site. It's not the reflection of the people, but it's not a poor area. People getting to work, but since when the mindset goes down, some others they didn't get employment. But most of them they have to be going to Johannesburg, the city, and that is where they get the employment.
I'm being honest.
There's no salad.
No, it's just your basic thing. And this food that we're going to eat, this is the food that the men who were living here originally would eat. And it changed and became part of our culture. Now that is why we bring you here, so that you'll be able to get a taste and just time travel and imagine yourself as those men. You can sit.
We call it chisa nyama.
Chisa nyama.
Chisa nyama. Chisa nyama.
And the chisa is very...
Take a photo, please.
It's right.
Take a photo.
Dala, before ufika nje nawe. Yangitira no.
Uyazi ukuthi awukhona ukuthi kudilekele.
Ngathi ngakushaka lamakhiphi. Uyabona kanjani? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we can grab a seat.
You can grab a seat anywhere.
Passando aqui no bairro da classe média. Agora. Já não tem esgoto a céu aberto. Olá. Bonjour. As casas são um pouco melhores aqui. Igreja ali, luterana. TV a cabo ali, satélite, sei lá.
Authority to indicate that we're going to separate you according to the color of the skin and also by the heritage. So what they would do firstly is that they take a pencil, they shove it in a person's hair, and then they tell you shake your head. You can shake it how you can. Shake it. Shake it. You should shake it.
Oh, you said straight in.
This is where we're going to separate ourselves, but BTB, over to you.
Can we please come a little bit closer? I love people coming closer to me. Okay. Alright guys, this area that we have just came to, this area is known as Hector Peterson Museum, the building over there, and this one will be the Hector Peterson Memorial. Now this area was built in 1992 and it was officially unveiled on the 16th of June 1992 by Dr. Nelson Mandela. Now, it was built in commemoration of the youth of 1976 who took a stand against the apartheid government for giving them a level of education which was not equal. Now, everything starts as soon as the apartheid government comes into power. 1948, they introduced 153 laws. One of those laws is known as Bantu Education, which was formally introduced in 1953. Now, when it was introduced, the apartheid government was not sure whether people were going to accept it or not. Now, Bantu education is a level of education which would stipulate that black students will be given the lowest level of education that you can imagine. whereby even ANC in 1953 they did fight against that law when it was implemented, but unfortunately they were not successful. Instead, in 1976, the government decided that they were going to add something on top of the Bantu education, meaning they would actually introduce Afrikaans as the level of instruction or the medium of instruction. Now you can imagine if someone would come to you and say, I'm teaching you in English, then you get used to English. Then suddenly you have to be taught in Afrikaans, which is a foreign language, by the way. It would be as if me and Linda are now teaching or are now speaking, conducting this whole tour in our own native language and expecting you guys to understand.
And say pendula.
Yes, tell you pendula, pendula. And that
Pendula
means
means-
answer. But you wouldn't be able to do that because you don't even understand the language. Now on the 16th of June, before the 16th of June actually, this
Chegando aqui nas Torres de Carvão, fornece eletricidade para a cidade de Joanesburgo lá. Fazendo um tour de bike aqui em Soweto. A gente ia almoçar no restaurante que tem ali embaixo, mas está fechado. A gente está procurando outro lugar aqui.
As it is open like this would allow the air to flow to push it up.
So cool down, water on the sides flowing in here.
So it's two of them, and most of the people were navigating just down here. And you will see that on the other side, you will see where the children are on their left hand side, that underground part, that is where they were navigating. So from one tower to another. Okay. But now there's a lot of sports that are used, that are being applied here. As you can see, it's like extreme things. There's rock climbing, as this one is artificial rock climbing. There's also the lift. The lift is the one that you can, so that you can go sacrifice yourself.
Yeah. Did you ever go the bungee jump?
I went up just for a view.
Okay.
Jumping, I don't think I can. do it.
Are the guys who painted these famous painters or just...
Well, he just got famous, but he is no longer alive because of he was doing a free climbing, and then that is when he died. But all this was on behalf of him because of he was the one who was handling the rope works and the painting and the whole process of the towers being painted. And then after that, he came with the idea of bungee jumping, just putting a bridge in the middle.
Subindo aqui a torre de carvão. Custa 80 rand para subir, só para ver a vista, sem pular o bungee jump.
Piri Mabetla Sinawana, Denizola, Shawela, Cape Town, you name it. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. A vista daqui de cima aqui, várias comunidades aqui. Tem umas 11 aqui, dá pra ver pelo menos. Toda essa parte. E aqui é onde o pulou de bungee jump. No, no, no. No.
Ah,